difference if I hail from north or south, or from the east or west. Hey, 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 beautiful people. Hey, this is Edie Mondene, and this is an unscheduled stop. I wanted to come by and talk a little bit about the president's speech. You know, the president of the United States. It feels like to me that America has resurrected William McKinley. This was a nationalist coup, and I know that it's time for the unsettling force to rise. This is March 4th, and tomorrow will be March 5th, and we can't take the 5th, but we've got a March 4th. America's fate was sealed tonight. President Trump stood before Congress and declared a new era of American nationalism, not just in policy, but in identity, governance, and moral ideology. With swift and unrelenting action, Trump's administration has systematically, and all other dismantled civil rights protections, crushed diversity and inclusion initiatives, and elevated corporate interest above the people. What he calls sovereignty is nothing but a rebranding of exclusion. What he calls economic protectionism is a financial war on the poor. This ain't new. We've seen this before. America has resurrected President William McKinley's era. That was the era where corporate wealth dictated policy. Imperialism was justified as patriotism, and black and marginalized communities were collateral damage. This is not merely political. This is a nationalist coup. And the marginalized must mobilize before the window to resist closes completely. We got to get up. The lies that were told within Trump's speech tonight were startling. It was really conclusive to a war on the marginalized. Trump's speech was not just about policy, it was about control. His rhetoric signaled to his base, his financial backers, and his authoritarian counterparts worldwide. It sent a message that America has abandoned democracy for something darker. Let's go through it. Let's break it down a little bit. Number one, reclaiming sovereignty, a border crackdown and a rejection of human rights. Trump boasted about his aggressive new immigration enforcement, mass deportations, and border militarization. But let's be clear. This is not about national security. It's about national identity. The nationalist agenda seeks to define who real Americans are, and that definition, my brothers and sisters, excludes black, brown, indigenous, and immigrant communities. This is not a policy shift. This is an ethnic purge. Now, it's coming under the guise of law and order. What about economic security? Economic certainty for the rich, economic instability for the rest. Trump's new tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China will drive up prices, making basic necessities unaffordable for working class Americans. Corporations and the ultra-rich, they're unscathed, they're untouched. His policies ensure they continue to exploit labor while dodging taxes. Oh my. Meanwhile, federal job cuts will gut public services, leaving marginalized communities with fewer resources to survive. Darlings, the national debt is rising, not shrinking, but those at the top will never pay the price. This is what the real message is. The rich will be protected. The rest of us, we're expendable. America first. This is the isolation of a dying superpower. Tonight, President Trump implied that America will no longer be the global leader in democracy by rejecting international corporation and human rights policies. America is ceding its role as a superpower, not because it's protecting sovereignty, but because nationalism cannot coexist with global influence. China and Russia are watching, people. And while Trump isolates America, they are positioning themselves to control the new world order. Conspiracy, is this what you think I'm talking about? This is the real message. America is not rising. It is retreating. The religious justification for oppression is off the chain. Nationalism's dangerous marriage to faith is incorrigible. One of the most insidious elements of Trump's nationalist agenda is how it weaponizes Christianity. All throughout his speech, he infused religious rhetoric into his policies, presenting his administration as the moral guardians of America's future. Oh, my God. This, of course, isn't accidental. This is Christian nationalism, a movement that distorts faith to justify exclusion, inequality, and discrimination. This is the reality. Faith is being used as a tool to validate white nationalism. Diversity protections are being repealed under the guise of preserving traditional values. LGBTQ plus rights are under attack in the name of religious freedom. Immigrants are demonized as threats to America's Christian identity. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. warned us of this deception. In his fight for justice, he saw how religion was used to uphold segregation, justify violence, and pacify those that were oppressed. My God, to you who are faithful, the time has come to reclaim the true message of justice, love, and equality before it's fully hijacked. There's 5 things that we've got to do, people. We've got to do this as a marginalized community, and we've got to do it right now. This is not the time to mourn democracy. This is the time to fight for its rebirth. The marginalized are the unsettling force that Dr. King prophesied. And now, right now, we've got to act. Number 1, we've got to demand principled leadership and hold every politician accountable. No more party loyalty, people. If politicians refuse to fight for civil rights and economic justice, they must go. We've got to flood congressional offices with calls, emails, and in-person demands, not just ignore us. We got to get in their face, build political alliances across racial, economic, and social justice movements. We got to get busy. Number 2, we have got to build Black and marginalized economic independence. Redirecting spending to Black-owned banks, cooperatives, and community-driven businesses. We've got to invest in financial literacy programs that prepare an economy designed to suppress it. Protecting generational wealth from being wiped out by racist policies is something that is a must-do. The nationalist economy is not built for us. We must build our own. Wall Street, the Black one, it can happen in every state. We've got to establish community protection networks Legal defense funds must be strengthened. Organize. Know your rights. Training is necessary in response to immigration raids and police violence. We've got to know how to respond. Support independent watchdog groups that track human rights violations. No one is coming to save us. We must depend on ourselves, and we've got to seize local and state power. If you've got to run for office, your doggone self. Elect radical truth tellers. Not big brains that do nothing. Take control of school boards, city councils, state legislatures. You are the people, we are the people, and we have a voice. Pass local policies that protect marginalized communities, regardless of federal rollbacks, cutbacks, or kickbacks. If we don't control our local governments, the nationalist movements will. We've got to control the narrative. Elevate our own media and stories. Listen to Edie Montagne. Corporate media will not tell the truth. Support black-owned media, independent news outlets, and social media influencers who challenge the system that we're being led to believe in. It's being stuffed down our throats. Tell our stories, document our struggles, and amplify our victories. The truth is, our weapon is in us, and we need to use it. We are the unsettling force, that force that history has been waiting for. We're here. Dr. King once said it. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. But he also knew it does not bend on its own. Trump's speech tonight was not just another policy address. It was a warning, a call to arms for nationalists, a blueprint for erasing progress. The question now is, how will we respond? This is the moment that defines whether America rises again or falls into the abyss of nationalist decay. Which side of history will you stand on? My brothers, my sisters, white, black, Jew, Gentile, the fight is here. The time is now. We, you and I, are the unsettling force, and we will not and we cannot be silent. My final call to action for you, my beloved, is this. Share this message. Share this message far and wide. Organize our communities, your communities, demand justice, build your wealth, seize power. Let's own our narrative. This is not just about stopping nationalism. This is about building an America where we are at the center. The revelation does not wait. What will you do? My hand is over my heart for all of these. I only know I swell with pride, and deep within my breast I thrill to see old glory paint the breeze. This is my country, land of my birth. This is my country, grandest on earth. I pledge to my allegiance, America, the bold. For this is my country, to have and to hold, to have and to hold, to have
and